Muscle cars are more than just powerful machines. They're pieces of history, symbols of an era when raw horsepower ruled the streets. But while many muscle cars were mass-produced and remain attainable today, there are a select few that have become incredibly rare and now fetch insane prices at auctions. These aren't just collector's items, they're rolling works of art, with some commanding price tags that rival luxury mansions. So, what makes a muscle car worth millions? Limited production, legendary performance, and of course, the undeniable cool factor. Buckle up as we take a deep dive into the rarest and most valuable muscle cars ever built. 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible, the $3.5 million beast. The 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible is arguably the holy grail of muscle cars. With only 12 units ever built, this car is as rare as they come. What makes it even more special is the legendary 426 Hemi engine under the hood, one of the most powerful V8s of its time, producing a monstrous 425 horsepower. The Cuda was built for speed and dominance on the drag strip, but rarity and power alone don't make a car worth millions. The 71 Hemi Cuda convertible is a perfect storm of desirability. It was produced in an era when insurance companies were cracking down on high horsepower cars, making these beasts some of the last true muscle monsters before the industry shifted towards stricter regulations. In recent auctions, pristine examples have fetched upwards of $3.5 million, making it one of the most expensive muscle cars ever sold. Now, imagine owning one of these. Would you keep it locked away in a climate-controlled garage? Or would you take it for a spin just to hear that legendary Hemi roar? 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88-, the secret weapon, worth $3 million. The 1967 Corvette L88 is a car so rare and powerful that Chevrolet actively discouraged people from buying it. Why? Because it was built for one purpose: racing, with an underrated 430 horsepower, but realistically closer to 550 horsepower, 427 cubic inch V8. The L88 was a beast that required high-octane fuel and came stripped of unnecessary luxuries like a radio or air conditioning. Only 20 units were ever produced in 1967, making it one of the rarest Corvettes in existence. While most muscle cars were built for street use, the L88 was designed to dominate the racetrack, and it did just that, cementing its place in racing history. Today, this ultra-rare Corvette has sold for as much as $3 million at auctions. Collectors and enthusiasts alike dream of owning one, but with so few in existence, getting your hands on an original is nearly impossible. The question is, if you had one, would you keep it in a museum, or would you let it stretch its legs on the open road? 1970 Dodge Hemi Challenger RT convertible, the $2.5 million muscle icon. Dodge's Challenger has always been a legend, but the 1970 Hemi Challenger RT convertible is in a league of its own. With only 9 units ever built, this car is one of the rarest muscle cars in history, and with a 426 Hemi engine under the hood, it had the performance to match its aggressive styling. What makes this car worth over $2.5 million? For starters, the Hemi engine option was an expensive upgrade, making it rare to find in a convertible. Additionally, the Challenger RT convertible was produced just before stricter emission laws and insurance regulations led to the decline of high-horsepower muscle cars. That means these few survivors represent the final chapter of Dodge's golden era of muscle. If Dodge were to bring back an ultra-limited modern Hemi Challenger convertible, would it live up to the legend of its 1970 predecessor? Or is the value of this car tied to its place in history? 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, the $1 million factory racer. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 wasn't just another muscle car, it was a factory-built race car disguised as a street-legal machine. Chevrolet only made 69 of these monsters, and they were powered by an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch big block V8, pushing out over 500 horsepower. What makes the ZL1 special is its rarity and origin story. It was born out of Chevrolet's COPO system, which allowed dealers to request special high-performance modifications that weren't available to the public. The result was one of the fastest Camaros ever built. At auctions today, these cars routinely sell for over $1 million, making them one of the most valuable Camaros ever produced. But what if Chevrolet built a modern-day ZL1 with the same uncompromising performance? Would it capture the same magic, or is this legend too rare to replicate? 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1, the luxury muscle, Kingworth, 400,000 plus Buick isn't usually the first brand that comes to mind when thinking about muscle cars, but the 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 was a powerhouse that could run with the best of them. With a 455 cubic inch V8 and an earth-shattering 510 pound-feet of torque, the GSX Stage 1 was one of the quickest muscle cars of its time. But here's the kicker. Buick only made 678 GSX models in 1970, and far fewer came with the high-performance Stage 1 package. This combination of power and exclusivity has made it one of the most sought-after muscle cars among collectors, with pristine examples selling for over $400,000. If Buick ever decided to bring back the GSX name, do you think it could compete with today's muscle cars? Or is this one best left in the history books? 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, the aerodynamic missile worth $1 million, and the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona wasn't just a muscle car, it was an engineering marvel. Built with a massive rear wing and an aerodynamic nose cone, the Daytona was designed for one thing: winning NASCAR races. And it did just that, becoming the first car to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier in competition. Only 503 units were built, making it incredibly rare. And today, these cars regularly sell for around $1 million at auctions. But beyond its rarity, the Daytona's impact on racing history makes it truly priceless. With Dodge still pushing performance boundaries with models like the Demon and Hellcat, do you think a modern Daytona could make a comeback? Or is its legacy untouchable? 1965 Shelby GT350R, the track-ready Mustang worth over $3.5 million. The 1965 Shelby GT350R isn't just any Mustang, it's the Mustang that changed everything. Carroll Shelby took Ford's relatively tame pony car and transformed it into a track-dominating beast, birthing one of the most legendary names in performance history. With a high-revving 289 cubic inch V8, a lightweight body, and racing suspension, the GT350R was built purely for speed. But what makes this particular model worth millions? Rarity and history. Only 34 units of the GT350R were ever produced, making it one of the rarest Mustangs in existence. And one specific GT350R, the prototype driven by legendary racer Ken Miles, sold for a record-breaking $3.85 million at auction. This car was not just fast, it was a championship-winning machine that cemented Ford's dominance in racing. With the Mustang still alive and thriving today, do you think any modern Shelby model will ever reach the same legendary status? Or is the GT350R simply irreplaceable? 1971 Pontiac GTO Judge Convertible, the underrated powerhouse worth $1 million plus. The Pontiac GTO is often credited as the car that started the muscle car craze, but the 1971 GTO Judge Convertible takes rarity and performance to another level. With only 17 units ever built, this car is a unicorn in the muscle car world. Under the hood, it packed the legendary 455 HO high output V8, delivering a staggering 335 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. What makes the Judge Convertible so valuable isn't just its performance, it's the fact that it represents the final evolution of Pontiac's high-performance muscle cars before the brand started to decline. By 1971, rising insurance costs and emissions regulations were choking the muscle car industry, making these last few high-powered Pontiacs even more desirable. Today, a well-preserved 1971 GTO Judge Convertible can sell for over $1 million, and its value is only climbing. But here's the real question. If Pontiac were still around, would they be able to bring back something as iconic? Or is the Judge best left as a legend of the past? Muscle cars aren't just about speed and power, they're legends, each with a story that adds to their mystique. The cars on this list aren't just rare, they're worth millions because they represent an era of unfiltered automotive greatness. But the question remains, if you had the chance to own one of these million-dollar muscle cars, would you keep it locked away as an investment, or would you take it for one last legendary drive? Let us know which rare muscle car is your favorite in the comments, and if you love classic muscle, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible car content. Until next time, keep your engines revving and your dreams of horsepower alive.